Gauri and Pratyay together as well in our live show. So, welcome Gauri and Pratyay. Here we are here to discuss Sunrisers Hyderabad and Delhi Capitals. And trust me, there are a lot of discussions are going to happen today because हमें पता है इन दोनों ही टीम्स के साथ बहुत सारे इश्यूज हैं. हम जहां पर भी कंसर्न्स को एड्रेस करने चलेंगे, we might get another to address it. So अभी सबसे पहले हम शुरुआत करेंगे दोनों ही टीम्स की बैटिंग्स के साथ. Gauri, I'm sure, like as an SRH person, like उनको back करने के लिए, you might know this as well कि SRH का batting order एक बहुत confusion के दौर से गुजरा है. हमने देखा है कि मयंक अग्रवाल being in the team, उनको still एक वो position नहीं मिल पाई जिसके लिए वो known है, that is the opening order. But still SRH ने 4 different opening order, मतलब opening batsmen को try किया है. Are they confused? Are they not backing Mayank Agarwal as a batter, or something else is going on in their team?
I believe there has been a lot of confusion as well because Mayank Agarwal, as we have seen, Punjab Kings के लिए जब खेलते थे तो वो KL राहुल के लिए he used to come in the opening order और वो कितना अच्छा perform किया. I think so he has established himself there. So maybe it's a confusion in the team जो उनको वहाँ पे position नहीं करने दे रहा. I think उन्होंने Harry Brook को last match में opening slot में भेजा. So that was another change from their end कि आपने Harry Brook को पहले middle order में खिलाया. You were expecting him to hit lower down the order, but वो ऊपर आ गए. So I think even that didn't work for SRH. So if you talk about their team, about their campaign so far, I believe कुछ भी नहीं ऐसा है जो उनके लिए काम कर रहा है. I mean, if you talk about it, positives बहुत कम है और there are a lot to be discussed, lot of concerns because when you see how the tournament is going on or how it is pacing up, कितने runs बना रही हैं teams, batters, and then you look at SRH, the way they are moving up, I think it's just not acceptable at some point of time because हैरी ब्रूक हैं. आई थिंक टीम्स हाईएस्ट रन स्कोरर सो फार SRH के लिए हैरी ब्रूक हैं इस समय. 150 something odd, I think 156, 160 he has grabbed so far. And when you look at the tournament, मतलब लोग 350, 400 around because Faf du Plessis, Devon Conway, Virat Kohli वो काफी ज्यादा ऊपर रन टैली में पहुंच चुके. So when you compare it to them, I think 156 is nothing. Seeing the tournament, how the tournament is pacing up. So they really need to work a lot. But talking about Mayank Agarwal, I think that confusion still persists in the team. So I believe, he should be getting chance above. And also, जब वो उनकी ऐसी position है where he has already, proved himself. आपने पंजाब में देखा है उनको perform करते हुए, तो I think he definitely deserves a chance out there.
Right, and even ये खुद itself मयंक अग्रवाल के लिए काफी frustrating होगा कि he is unable to do the good things for team जिसके लिए वो known है, बस उन्हें वहाँ मौके नहीं मिल रहे हैं. उनके लिए भी equally frustrating होगा. But Pratyay, since we know this batting concerns with Delhi Capitals as well, but आज के दिन like SRH versus David Warner होने वाला है, तो क्या वो extra prepared होंगे इस game के लिए कि आज तो मेरे को दिखाना है कि तुमने क्या खोया है? Because Delhi के लिए so far अगर batting में कोई click कर पाया है, that is David Warner itself. But उनको भी अपने कई सारे concerns को address करने की जरूरत है.
Bilkul, I think batting has been a struggle for both these teams, not just Delhi. I think these are two struggling batting sides against each other. And yes, homecoming has been the buzzword this IPL because, of course, the IPL has gotten back to the home and away format. So it will be a homecoming of different kind for Warner because, of course, he's coming to Hyderabad, not being a SRH player anymore. Still, I mean, because the kind of legacy that he managed to build there, winning a title for them, 3-4 years of great, consistent performances. So at times, you still feel, I mean, whenever you hear the name Warner first, at times, still it's orange that comes to your mind and not the blue of Delhi. But it has been that kind of a case. He's not one of those players who will perhaps be having any negative emotions as such because whatever we know about Warner from the outside, he's one of the very positive players and just kind of focuses on his cricket. Very happy-go-lucky kind of a man even off the field. So I don't think that he would be having any scores to settle as such. But of course, when you have had a tumultuous kind of a history with the franchise, when you come against them, because we know what happened with them. Sunrisers and Warner, it was a great story until 2020, but 2021 onwards, plenty of controversies, being left at the hotel room, being reduced to a viewer, then being dropped, not being picked up by the team again, losing captaincy midway through in the 2021 tournament. So plenty of things happened. So of course, you might have a little bit more fire under your belly to just kind of give it back. In that sense, of course, he would be wanting to get back amongst the runs. Not to forget, of course, the fact that he's leading Delhi Capitals and he has been one of the very few positives that the side has had. Because if you look at the performances, Akshar Patel, odd performance here and there, 2-3 for him. Warner with the bat, his strike rate has been a concern. Otherwise, he has gotten back to runs, so that is good news for Delhi. And I think in the previous game, the way Ishant Sharma bowled, if you keep these 2-3 things aside, this hasn't really been a season for them to remember so far. And you are standing, game number 34? 70 in the league stage, so you're virtually almost at the halfway mark, just one shot. And if you're still
Right.
having just 2 points at the table, so you're already staring down the barrel. You know that you have a lot of catching up to do, because there are certain teams which are in great form. They have already solidified their position, and by this time of the league stage, of course, there are certain dramas towards the end of the tournament, which we are used to seeing every year. But by this time, generally by the third or fourth week, halfway through the tournament, you kind of start to gauge which are the perhaps the teams which are going to qualify, which are the teams which are going to be the contenders for the top four, top five mark. At the moment, neither SRH nor Delhi are looking in that direction. So I think it's an important game for both the sides, and of course, all eyes will be on Warner, because one, he's playing against Hyderabad, and it's a venue where he has enjoyed playing. He has plenty of runs on the ground, so I think it's one of the games where he would also want to perform well for his side.
Yeah, we can say that it's a home ground for SRH, but definitely David Warner is also very well. He understands the stadium very well. He do know how to play there. And जैसे हमने पहले भी सुना है, like players अभी different franchises के साथ खेल रहे हैं, but उनके लिए इंडिया के लगभग हर ग्राउंड अभी होम ग्राउंड की तरह हो चुका है, because वो इतने गेम्स खेल चुके हैं ऑलरेडी यहाँ पे. इवन डेविड वॉर्नर के लिए भी हम बोल सकते हैं, बिकॉज एसआरएच के साथ खेलते हुए या दिल्ली के साथ खेलते हुए या बेसिकली आईपीएल में भी उनकी इतनी हिस्ट्री है, वो भी अभी सारे ग्राउंड्स के साथ वेल वर्स्ड है. But we have got the toss update as well. Like Delhi Capitals have opted to bat first in this particular match. This is a good sign for them, because whenever you win a toss, it is definitely something which is going to help you, because then you are at the और इसको भुनाना बहुत जरूरी है दिल्ली कैपिटल्स के लिए, बिकॉज टॉस जो जीतना इटसेल्फ जितना इंपॉर्टेंट है, उतना ही इंपॉर्टेंट अभी उनके लिए मैच जीतना है, क्योंकि एकदम टेबल के लास्ट पर है दिल्ली कैपिटल्स, एंड दे रियली वांट टू ऐड सम पॉइंट्स इन देयर किटी, वरना चीजें मुश्किल हो सकती हैं. नाउ लेट्स टेक अ लुक एट द हेड टू हेड ऑफ दिल्ली कैपिटल्स एंड सनराइजर्स हैदराबाद, बिकॉज दोनों ही टीम्स ने सो फार अपनी आईपीएल हिस्ट्री में कितने मैचेस खेले हैं और किस तरीके से उनकी जीत रही है, एक बार उधर नजर डाल लेते हैं. 21 मैचेस टोटल खेले हैं दिल्ली और एसआरएच ने, जहां पर 11 मैचेस में एसआरएच और दिल्ली कैपिटल्स ने 10 मैचेस में अपना नाम कमाया है. लेकिन इन मुकाबलों की अगर हम बात कर ही रहे हैं गौरी, सो इट्स क्वाइट नेक टू नेक, लाइक 11 मैचेस एंड दिल्ली कैपिटल्स के 10 मैचेस. सो दिस इज समथिंग लाइक वी कैन से कि अगर हम इफ वी गो बाय द हिस्ट्री, देन डेफिनेटली ये टीम्स एक दूसरे को कई क्रिस्प मूवमेंट्स पे छोड़ चुकी हैं, कई नेल बाइटर्स दे चुकी होंगी, तभी हमें इस तरह के मैचेस का रिजल्ट मिला है. बट आज के टाइम पे अगर हम इस मूवमेंट पर बात करें, तो किस टीम के पास ज्यादा अपर हैंड है बेसिकली इस मुकाबले में? एसआरएच के पास है या दिल्ली के पास है?
I mean, really not, it's not a very clear answer that I may give right now, because I cannot say Delhi or SRH, because seeing the campaign of 2023 so far, I mean, both the teams are languishing at the bottom of the points table. SRH, whereas they have, two matches they have won, Delhi have just won the last match. So I think both the teams are just not having the tournament they would have been looking so far. So I think, and even head to head, uski agar aap baat karte, to that is also saying same kind of story. I mean, there is no one is edging over the other. So I think there can be a tough and a very good kind of match, especially when both the teams are looking for 2 points very badly. So yes, of course, I mean, when you're halfway through the tournament and just putting at the lower half of the table, it is very, very important for you at this point of time to step up and really look out the concerns that have been bothering you in the tournament. So yeah, I really feel because like we saw, Delhi have chosen to bat first. So I think just stadium mein Hyderabad mein match ho raha, the report so far has said that teams who have won the toss have preferred batting first, because 190 plus scores have been there twice, and teams those who have batted first have also gone on to win the match. सो आई थिंक इफ अगर वो इस चीज को देखते हैं और इस चीज को ध्यान में रखते हुए बढ़ते हैं, तो आई थिंक दिल्ली में हैव स्लाइट अपर हैंड, बट अदरवाइज आई थिंक बोथ द टीम्स आर स्ट्रगलिंग एंड दे रियली नीड टू कैच अप.
Right, let's take a look at the pitch report as well, like how the pitch is going to basically respond in this match. The pitch in Rajiv Gandhi International Stadium assists spin better than pace. Batting first, he has won 2 out of 3 games played in IPL 2023. The average first innings score at this venue is 179.3 in the ongoing IPL. So pitch says a lot about the toss, but we have got another update from the back end that Prithvi Shaw has been dropped from today's 11. प्रत्यय वी नो ये सीजन उनके नाम रहा नहीं है, तो रिकी पॉन्टिंग ने बोला था सीजन के स्टार्टिंग में दिस इज गोइंग टू डिफाइन पृथ्वी शॉ एज अ बैटर, बट इस सीजन ऐसा कुछ भी दिखाई नहीं दिया. मुझे लगता है शायद उन्होंने जिंक्स कर दिया है स्टार्टिंग में ही बोल करके कि ये डिफाइन करेगा उनको, और जब भी वो बोलते हैं कि नहीं आज वो टच में आज बहुत अच्छा खेलेंगे, और उसके बाद पृथ्वी शॉ तुरंत आउट भी हो गए थे, एक इंसिडेंट मुझे याद है. बट नाउ वो 11 का पार्ट नहीं है. डू यू सी दिस एज अ फेलियर ऑफ पृथ्वी शॉ इटसेल्फ या फिर अ फेलियर ऑफ कॉम्बिनेशन ऑफ दिल्ली कैपिटल्स?
See, I think it hasn't been his season so far, of course, because we know what kind of a player he is. Has immense potential. We have seen him performing through the years. in the IPL, as well as whatever limited opportunities he has got for India as well. He's otherwise a very free flowing kind of a batter, because he is someone who can demolish bowling lineups for fun, because he has that kind of capability to just tear apart bowling lineups with the kind of ability he has to find the gaps, the kind of strokes he has in his arsenal. But this year he has just not gotten up to the mark, and he hasn't been able to deliver. A couple of unlucky dismissals as well, run out here and there. But then that is what happens. You need a little bit of luck at times, going your way, because something that we have even seen in the recent past with the likes of Virat Kohli, Suryakumar Yadav, because you need some sort of luck at times. When you're struggling as a batter, perhaps you want a drop chance, maybe an inside edge which just kind of leaves the wicket instead of going on to hit the stumps. That hasn't helped him either. And I think his batting has started to kind of impose a little bit of pressure on David Warner as well, because we're constantly talking about his strike rate. But as I've already even previously mentioned in one of our shows, that Warner has been struggling, of course, with the strike rate, but it is also partly down to what is happening around him, because you really cannot pin him out and say that you're not batting at a strike rate when others around him are not contributing. And Shaw is one of those players whom Delhi has consistently bagged, because he has been that kind of a player who has delivered up top the order. So I think he will take that as a setback, of course, that he has been dropped. In the previous 2-3 games, he was being used as an impact sub, which worked all right for Delhi. But now that they are batting first, of course, that means that he has been dropped. So yes, it will be a setback, but I still feel that it's not all over for him yet, because there are still 7-8 games that Delhi has to play in the season. So perhaps if he can sit out maybe for 2-3 games, try to maybe just find what are the problems that he's facing, what are the errors that he is making, where is he going wrong, because see, constantly playing is also not going to help you. When you are not in form, what is often suggested is that, okay, fine, go back to the drawing board, perhaps play maybe 500 balls in the nets, it's all right. Do the hard grind and then come back. So at the moment, playing back to back is only going to take a hit on his confidence, and perhaps will not allow him to get back into form. If he takes a bit of rest, and as I've said as well, that 4 or 5 games the next that are going to come for Delhi, they are coming on a gap. They played on 20th, now playing on 24th. The next game they again play Sunrisers Hyderabad on 29th. Perhaps the next game is again on 3rd or 4th of May. So they are getting the gaps. So this is the time for Prithvi Shaw to just kind of go back to the nets, sit with Shane Watson, sit with Ricky Ponting, sit with Saurav Ganguly. It's a great backroom staff filled with legends of the game. Try to perhaps just find out where things are not working out, if it's a technical issue that he's falling to, and just perhaps play and fine tune himself and get back after a game or two. And who knows? I mean, if he comes back, gets a 50, builds up the confidence, that can help for him. So I think it's the right decision to just kind of allow him to go back and have a seat, because runs are not coming, and you do not want your player to constantly go out and just take that criticism again and again.
राइट एंड वी हैव गॉट वन कमेंट कि जैसे पृथ्वी शॉ अभी ड्रॉप हुए हैं तो हो सकता है कि एक कोई स्टोरी आ रही हो इंस्टाग्राम के पृथ्वी शॉ के एंड से, बिकॉज हमने उनकी हिस्ट्री भी देखी है, जब भी कुछ भी होता है तो कोई ना कोई इंस्टा स्टोरी आती है. विल कीप आवर आई ऑन दैट. बट लेट्स टेक अ लुक एट प्लेयर हु वॉच आउट ऑफ दिस मैच सनराइजर्स हैदराबाद वर्सेस दिल्ली कैपिटल्स. एंड देयर आर प्लेयर्स जिनकी जिम्मेदारी रखी जाए तो वो डेफिनेटली अपनी टीम को जिताने में मदद करते हैं. और जैसे कि हम ये नाम देख सकते हैं, राहुल त्रिपाठी इज नोन फॉर दैट, और उन्होंने पहले भी किया है एसआरएच के लिए, और इस सीजन भी उनसे पूरी उम्मीद होगी कि अपनी टीम के लिए लगातार परफॉर्म करें. मैचेस 81 उन्होंने खेले हैं, 1943 रन्स स्कोर किए हैं, हाईएस्ट 93. अभी तक एक शतक लगा नहीं पाए हैं, पर बहुत जल्दी उम्मीद है कि ऐसा हो भी सकता है. वहीं अगर दिल्ली के एंड से देखें, सो डेविड वार्नर द ओनली बैटर जो इस वक्त सबसे ज्यादा जिनसे आप उम्मीद लगा सकते हैं दिल्ली के लिए अगर बैटिंग साइड से, दैट इज डेविड वार्नर. 167 मैचेस उन्होंने खेले हैं अभी तक, और उन्होंने बनाए हैं 6166 रन्स. 126 उनका हाईएस्ट है, और इस मुकाबले में भी डेविड वार्नर से पूरी उम्मीद होगी कि वो दिल्ली कैपिटल्स की जिम्मेदारी लें और उन्हें जीत तक लेकर के जाएं. Gauri, if we come back to the SRH point of view, see, batting is definitely a concern, but SRH की bowling भी कुछ बहुत कमाल नहीं कर पा रही है. Like if we talk about Natarajan, Bhuvneshwar, Umran Malik, Marco Jensen, they are expensive now. अभी वो रन्स लीक कर रहे हैं, विकेट्स मिल रहे हैं, बट वो रन्स लीक कर रहे हैं. बट स्टिल जो उनका सबसे सक्सेसफुल बॉलर है अभी तक, दैट इज मयंक मार्कंडे. हमने उनको देखा, वो अभी तक 8 विकेट्स ले चुके हैं 6 मैचेस में, 6.25 की इकोनॉमी मेंटेन कर रहे हैं. बट अगर आप एक बॉलिंग स्पिरिट बोले जाते हैं कि पूरे आईपीएल में अगर बॉलिंग साइड कोई है तो दैट इज एसआरएच. ये हमेशा से हम जानते हैं वो बॉलिंग हैवी लाइनअप रहा है, बट अगर आपकी बॉलिंग में आपका सपोर्ट ना करे, डिस्पाइट हैविंग दीज गुड नेम्स इन दिस 11, बेसिकली 16 का मैं नाम लूंगी, तो फिर हाउ डू यू सी दिस, लाइक व्हाट इज द होप फॉर एसआरएच टू गेट बैक टू द विनिंग वेज?
See, like I said, talking about the tournament, there have been a lot of points which are concerning them because there have been, hardly any positives in their tournament. So, if you talk about bowling, even that has gone to bother them because, like we talked, SRH has always been, known a bowling heavy unit. But even then, Bhuvneshwar Kumar, the likes of Marco Jansen and Umran Malik, these kind of bowlers are leaking so many runs. So, when you see Bhuvneshwar Kumar is another veteran, white ball format, when you talk of, he's another veteran, and he is the one who's leaking so much runs and he's not maintaining the economy. It's not a really good sign for SRH when you see, because when you have comparatively young names in your bowling arsenal, people always look up to the experienced person right out there. I mean, the Bhuvneshwar Kumar is the person, and when the person is not having very good kind of a tournament or is not having the day he would want to have, I think it's not a very good sign for SRH. Because if you just see the bowling department, Mayank Markande has been the highest wicket taker, 8 wickets, but again, spinner. So pace section, maybe we can say the pace department is really struggling at this time, and that really needs to step up. I mean, all the departments, to be honest, need to step up in the SRH squad. Batting has been not just that they would have wanted to. Mayank Agarwal, again, Harry Brook, like I mentioned, 165 odd runs and being the highest run scorer of the team, you are just not meeting up the requirements of the tournament at the moment. So yeah, of
Right.
course, they just need to not only bowling and pace section but also the batting, and I mean the overall and all-round performance needs to just get better up for SRS right now.
राइट, और इसी के साथ मेरे पास सब्स की एक अपडेट भी आ गई है कि सनराइजर्स हैदराबाद ने जिन्हें सब्स अपना अनाउंस किया है, दैट इज नितिश रेड्डी, विवरांत शर्मा, ग्लेन फिलिप्स, मयंक डागर और राहुल त्रिपाठी। और उसके अलावा दिल्ली कैपिटल्स की तरफ से सब्स हैं मुकेश कुमार, ललित यादव, प्रवीण दुबे, चेतन सकारिया और यश धूल। सो कुछ प्लेयर्स हमें यहाँ पर सब्स करते हुए अगर हमें मैच में दिखेंगे तो वो इनमें से एक होंगे। बट इसी के साथ देख लेते हैं कि प्लेइंग 11 में किन किन को जगह दी गई है दिल्ली कैपिटल्स और सनराइजर्स हैदराबाद के एंड से। सो एक बार देखते हैं क्या कॉम्बिनेशन जमाया है दिल्ली कैपिटल्स ने। वी कैन सी डेविड वार्नर, फिलिप सॉल्ट, मिचेल मार्श, मनीष पांडे, सरफराज खान, अक्षर पटेल, अमन हाकिम खान, रिपल पटेल, आंद्रिक नोकिया, कुलदीप यादव, ईशान शर्मा। एंड इफ यू गो टू एसआरएच प्लेइंग 11, सो डेफिनेटली वहां पर हमें जो कॉम्बिनेशन दिख रहा है दैट इज अभिषेक शर्मा, हैरी ब्रूक, एडन मार्करम, मयंक अग्रवाल, हेनरी क्लासेन, मार्को येंसन, वॉशिंगटन सुंदर, मयंक मार्कंडे, भुवनेश्वर कुमार, टी नटराजन और उमरान मलिक। तो वंस अगेन वी नो आज भी हम मयंक अग्रवाल को ओपन करते हुए नहीं दिखेंगे। दैट इज गोइंग टू बी अभिषेक शर्मा एंड हैरी ब्रूक। इस कॉम्बिनेशन के साथ एसआरएच जाएगी। प्रीवियस मैचेस में कई सारे कॉम्बिनेशन ट्राई किए हैं और इस मुकाबले में भी ये इन्हीं को ही बैक कर रहे हैं एसआरएच के जो हेड कोच है दैट इज ब्रायन लारा। और उन्होंने ये चीज बताई है कि किस तरीके से वो इस डुओ के साथ जाएंगे और मयंक अग्रवाल को शायद थोड़ा और इंतजार करना होगा। बट एक बार देख लेते हैं सोशल ट्रैकर एज वेल, क्या लोग डिस्कस कर रहे हैं इस मुकाबले के बारे में और किस तरह के ट्वीट्स आ रहे हैं, वो भी काफी इंपॉर्टेंट है। टुडेज एसआरएच वर्सेस डीसी मैच सिनेरियो, नो वन इज इंटरेस्टेड। व्हाई? बिकॉज ऑब्वियसली दोनों ही टीम्स 9th और 10th नंबर पर हैं, इसलिए ज्यादा लोग इंटरेस्टेड नहीं है। बट अगर ये मैच इंटरेस्टिंग हुआ तो फिर बहुत सारे आईबॉल्स आने वाले हैं और बहुत सारे नंबर्स ये मैच रीच करने वाला है। Mahi is the reason if SRH starts winning from today. So we know this. हम महेंद्र सिंह धोनी को हमने बात करते हुए देखा है SRH प्लेयर्स के साथ. So this is a danger sign for DC because अगर ये बातचीत उनको पेप कर ले गई तो फिर SRH यहाँ से मैचेस जीतेगी और आप नीचे छूट जाएंगे. So this is something जहाँ पर थोड़ा सा फोकस करना है कि अपने आप को मोटिवेटेड रखना है और कोशिश करनी है कि ये मुकाबला वो जरूर जीत सके. Let's take a look at another tweet. Warner playing against SRH and definitely the emotions because David Warner was there. 2016 का सीजन उन्होंने जितवाया था SRH को और उसके बाद से फिर उन्होंने कंटिन्यू नहीं किया SRH ने उनके साथ और फिर हम देख रहे हैं कि किस तरीके से बार बार बदलाव आए पर इमोशंस वही है. इवन डेविड वार्नर ने अपनी टॉस की स्पीच में भी यही बोला है कि ही लव द क्राउड एंड ही इज गोना पे ऑफ. और ये हम देख सकते हैं आज का मुकाबला किस तरीके से लोग फोकस करके इस मुकाबले को देखेंगे. ये बड़ा बड़ा मैच है दिल्ली कैपिटल्स और एसआरएच के बीच में. बट सिंस ऑलरेडी डेविड वार्नर एसआरएच का पार्ट रहे हैं तो थोड़ा उनका इमोशन उस तरफ भी फोकस करता है. एक ये कमेंट आया, लेट्स टेक दिस कमेंट. नफीसा शीजा पूछ रही है हाउ मच विल वार्नर्स नॉलेज अबाउट द एसआरएच टीम स्ट्रक्चर हेल्प डीसी टुडे. सो डेफिनेटली जिस तरीके का वहां का एनवायरनमेंट है, जिस तरीके का वहां का माइंडसेट है, उससे बखूबी वाकिफ है डेविड वार्नर एज अ प्लेयर एंड एज अ कैप्टन. और आज के मुकाबले में सिंस वो उनके अगेंस्ट जाने वाले हैं तो क्या कुछ ऐसी स्ट्रैटेजीज हैं जिन्हें डेविड वार्नर यूज कर सकते हैं और डिकोड कर सकते हैं एसआरएच को आज के दिन प्रत्यय?
I think a lot of members have also changed, so we cannot really say that it's the entire similar kind of unit that SRH are playing with. But still, of course, with the kind of matchups and data-driven game that we are now seeing, starting to seeing with the advent of IPL, because a lot of times, a lot of cricketers, the backroom staff, the coaches, they sit with data analysts. They try to find out that, okay, what are the struggles? What are the kind of particular struggles that a batter has? Which kind of bowling, has troubled him? What are the areas to bowl? So the game is seeing that kind of a revolution in that sense as well. I think 5, 7 years, 8 years ago, there was not that much influence of data. It's still something which is perhaps in a nascent stage. It's still coming up. But now, a lot of times, when you kind of talk about the games, you are more focused on captains playing specific kind of players, introducing specific players against specific players because they know that this particular player has gotten him 7 times out, 8 times out, or perhaps the bowler is perhaps the batter is perhaps slightly struggling against left arm spin. So these are kind of things that a lot of importance is being given to them. From that perspective, I'm pretty sure that Warner and company would have also done their homework regarding SRH because they need to do something different. Like I said, 5 losses when you have that kind of a start to the season, another couple of losses and it's already over for you. And the hardest part is that you have to play the tournament. You cannot go back home saying that okay, fine, now we are already out of the tournament, so we are not going to play any more games. You have to turn up yourself every single time, and you have to put your best foot forward even if you're out of the tournament. So you want to at least stay in the hunt, even if you are. And right now, if you look at the table, so yes, of course, there are certain teams which have gotten a lot of points, but this year's table has an interesting aspect that halfway mark on the tournament, no team has really won like all 7 or 8 games and have taken a huge advantage. So even if you perhaps win 2 or 3 games, you perhaps will be quickly in the reckoning. So if you win 2 3 games, you will be up at 8 points, and you can start to maybe believe in yourself that okay, fine. If a few things go our way at the second half of the tournament, you might as well even qualify. Who knows? So I think they will have to do their homework, try perhaps a few different things. For now, I think this is what the seventh game Delhi is playing, and they haven't in the previous 6. It wasn't even once that they went with an unchanged 11. So I think they are trying things. It's just that they are not clicking at the moment. Previous game as well. If you look how they won against KKR, we were discussing that what kind of a game it was, and they made a meal out of it, winning it in the last over when they were chasing only 128. So even the victory that they have gotten is not very convincing. So I think that yes, this game when they are going to go back against SRH, they will be happy about the 2 points that they got, but they still would want to at least win one game convincingly because losses have all been very big. But the only victory that has come was a victory which perhaps was not a very statement giving kind of a victory. You won the game eventually, but you did not really won it in a very convincing fashion. So I think they would have done their homework against the SRH players, and they would definitely want to win it more than SRH this game.
राइट, डेफिनेटली, क्योंकि कोशिश करनी चाहिए बिकॉज एनआरआर भी बहुत बड़ा रोल प्ले कर सकता है दोनों ही टीम्स के लिए. सिंस एसआरएच का फिर भी एनआरआर बेटर है, दिल्ली का और भी खराब है, वी नो द रीजन व्हाई, बट बिल्कुल कोशिश करनी चाहिए दिल्ली को भी और एसआरएच को भी. इसको अपना लास्ट मौका मान करके उनको हर गेम खेलना चाहिए ताकि वो कुछ बेटर कर सके लीग में और एटलीस्ट कोशिश करें कि प्लेऑफ्स तक पहुंच जाएंगे तो बहुत बड़ी बात होगी. बिकॉज अपने आप में देखा जाए कमबैक स्टोरीज ज्यादा बड़ी होती हैं देन वो स्टोरीज जो ऑलरेडी सक्सेसफुल होती हैं. सो ये एक अच्छा मौका है दिल्ली के पास भी लिखने का, एक ऐसी स्टोरी गढ़ने का कि इतिहास में याद किया जाए कि दिल्ली ने क्या कमबैक किया था. तो एक बहुत ही अच्छा मौका है और आई एम श्योर अगर इसे गवाएंगे नहीं तो ये बहुत ही बेटर होगा आईपीएल के लिए और क्रिकेट फैंस के लिए. बट डेफिनेटली आज एक जो दिन इनको मिला है इसमें हम एक पॉजिटिव क्रिकेट एक्सपेक्ट कर सकते हैं और एज अ फैन हम देख सकते हैं कि कुछ एंटरटेनमेंट हो जो कि अल्टीमेट आईपीएल का जो कहते हैं कि अल्टीमेट आईपीएल का एक्सप्रेशन है वो देखने को मिले. बट थैंक यू सो मच गौरी ब्रदर. बिफोर यू गाइस साइन ऑफ, प्लीज लेट मी नो व्हाट इज द प्लेयर ऑफ द मैच टुडे, लाइक हूम यू गोना टेक, बिकॉज़ इसके पहले हमें ये जानना बहुत जरूरी है हु इज गोना विन टुडे. तो कौन सा टीम जीत रही है और कौन सा प्लेयर ऑफ द मैच चुनना चाहिए. इट इज डिफिकल्ट, आई नो, but tell me Gauri, your one name. I'm gonna take the same.
My luck has been, poor would be an understatement with this to say, to be honest. So I just don't want to name anyone, but if you want me to say a name who I would like to see performing, that is Mayank Agarwal, definitely. Okay. So I may choose him, yeah.
So Gauri, you are not in the list yet, like जो हमारी internal team की list है जिसमें points आते हैं.
I am in the list with just 100 points.
शुक्र है, मेरे को लगा एसआरएच तो वो और behaving
because no, such unlucky with this predicting games, such unlucky. I mean, I cannot even tell you because there have been Pratyay is laughing because he already knows that because I have put a name, and maybe that person has already performed well, but maybe the team has lost, or there is another person who is absolutely being neck to neck, so that person is being given at the time. Or maybe in last 1 or 2 years, it was like when I name a person, the person has just not been the contender of the man of the match. Maybe that person has performed so pathetically that I even forget to put his name afterwards anytime in the tournament. So
Right.
I just stay away from this prediction game, to be honest.
So, like, if whenever you are picking one, you're actually jinxing that person to not
Yeah,
perform.
to be honest, absolutely.
Okay, ठीक है. तो मैं अग्रवाल नहीं लेना है हमें. प्रत्यय, you tell me your choice.
I think David Warner, for the simple reason that one, that he's playing against Hyderabad, I would love to see him perform. Secondly, he has been one of the very few positives this season for Delhi, and he's playing at a ground that he has really, it has been a feast for him. He loves playing at Hyderabad in front of the crowd, and I'm pretty sure that despite being on the opposite side, I am pretty sure that the crowd would still be, chanting his name and would be supporting him because they have a great connect. I mean, IPL, whenever you talk about, there are some great stories with the city and a franchise. You speak of Chennai, MS Dhoni's name comes to your mind. Perhaps that was the kind of thing with Tendulkar back then when he was playing for Mumbai Indians. And I think if it has been one of the very loyal kind of a relationship between a franchise and a city franchise and a player, it has been Warner and SRH as well. So it's one of the stories of the IPL. So yes, he is no longer in the orange of SRH, but I still feel that the crowd at Hyderabad would definitely be supporting him. And he has been the informed player as well. Previous game, his strike rate was good as well, so he has shunted that down as well. So I think that he should be the one to keep an eye on.
राइट. और मैं एक फैक्ट बताती हूँ गौरी अबाउट प्रत्यय कि प्रत्यय यहाँ पे अगर जिस प्लेयर का नाम लेता है उस प्लेयर का नाम बिल्कुल नहीं लिखता लिस्ट में. जहाँ पर हम लोग कॉन्टेस्ट विनर्स में नाम डालते हैं ना, तो मैं ये नाम नहीं लूंगी यहाँ से. जब प्रत्यय आप कॉन्टेस्ट में डालेंगे ना नाम, मैं उसका कॉपी करूंगी. यहाँ से नहीं. एक बार मैंने किया, प्रत्यय ने बताया ये प्लेयर, मैंने लिख दिया, बाद में देखा प्रत्यय ने खुद वो प्लेयर नहीं ले रखा है. प्रत्यय दूसरे प्लेयर के साथ है कॉन्टेस्ट में. बट ठीक है.
No, at that point, now I feel if I start copying the winner also, no, maybe that person will just stop at that point only. So I think
मैं हम लोग
so.
लिस्ट देख करके देखते हैं किसको कॉपी करना है, वहां से उठाते हैं. ठीक है. Okay, thank you so much, Gauri and Satya, for joining me here. We'll be gonna come back after the match and definitely we'll discuss a lot about it. I'm very sure हमारे पास बहुत सारे points होंगे discuss करने के लिए. Thank you so much, guys, and thank you so much all the people who are watching this show. Please come back to the CricTracker and enjoy in the air show with us.